University. Thank you for joining us today on WFLY TV News for Tuesday, February 18th, 2014. I'm Shane Gustafson.
And I'm Jessica Resendez.
And here are your top stories for today. A 15-year-old Romeoville girl died Saturday after being shot in the head twice by her ex-boyfriend. The girl and her mother were leaving their home Thursday morning when a man approached their car and started shooting, hitting both victims. Romeoville police say the shooter is 23-year-old Eric Maya of Cicero. Police say Maya was the girl's old boyfriend and that the family had requested an order of protection against him last December. The police say the order of protection had to do with the shooting but wouldn't release any further details. The girl was airlifted to Loyola Medical Center in Maywood, where she passed away on Saturday morning. Her mother was taken to Bolingbrook Hospital and is listed in good condition. Friends and family and community members started a fundraiser to help the family pay for medical expenses and other financial burdens during this hard time. The goal is to raise $100,000. Will County Police say Maya is currently being held on $5 million bond and was expected back in court this morning.
More than 1,000 faculty members of the University of Illinois at Chicago have issued a two-day strike starting today. This is the first teacher strike of U of I's history. The union is not content with their salaries and is asking for a 4.5% increase. The strike may cause the university to cancel hundreds of classes. The University of Chicago spokesperson Bill Burton says they will continue to bargain with the help of a federal mediator until settlement is reached.
Officials at the University of Chicago discovered a student dead in his dorm room after other students in the building complained of a foul odor. Campus police searched the building before finding the decomposing body of Tinley Melvin, a 20-year-old junior from Toronto. Police couldn't determine how long Melvin had been dead, but records indicate that it had been at least 8 days since he last used his key card to enter the building. U of C officials released a statement on Saturday saying there was no evidence of foul play. An autopsy was performed on Sunday, but the Cook County Medical Examiner says more testing is needed before a cause of death is reached. School officials say Melvin lived in a single room in the International Building on campus. Students say they are shocked to hear of the news and hope to have answers soon.
The family of a missing university student of Southern Illinois is asking the public for any information regarding their missing son, who was found dead today. Authorities say the 19-year-old Prevan Vargoshi was last seen with his friends at a party off campus. The next day, he sent a tweet which indicates that he might have been involved in a fight. Vargoshi was found dead in a wooden area in Carbondale. No foul play is suspected. The family is offering a $15,000 reward for any information that leads to his appearance.
The Lewis University Police Department sent out the first in a series of 4 emails last week. The emails will inform the community of the new concealed carry law that went into effect last summer. The law allows ordinary citizens to carry a concealed weapon, but only if they have a permit. The email gave students, faculty, and staff information about the signage posted around campus about concealed carry. It also says where concealed carry weapons are allowed both on campus and in the entire state of Illinois.
You can't carry a gun, basically in any public building. You can't carry a gun in any school. You can't take one to the library or the zoo or the museum or the sports stadium or on public transportation or any place like that. University and college campuses fall into that category of prohibited areas.
The Illinois State Police will begin issuing concealed carry permits this spring. The Lewis University Police Department will send out more information about the law within the next few weeks. Lewis University's nursing department teamed up with LifeSource for a blood and bone marrow drive. Find out more after this commercial break.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
You drive Buzz, could be one very expensive ride. First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
The Lewis University Nursing Department teamed up with LifeSource to host a blood and bone marrow drive on campus today. Student volunteers walked throughout Charlie's Place during lunch to show students the benefits of donating blood and bone marrow. They also reminded them of the number of lives that could be saved by just one donation. Many students, including our very own Jessica Resendez, stopped by the table to register to donate bone marrow. LifeSource says representatives today were all about saving lives.
Anybody can donate blood. There are certain eligibility requirements. So if you have a cold, we don't necessarily want you to donate blood, but you could donate marrow, sign up to be a marrow donor. So there's certain travel restrictions and things like that for blood, but for marrow, there aren't as many restrictions. So.
LifeSource says donating up to 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives, and donating bone marrow can save the lives of those infected with blood cancer. Every year, over 5,000 people die because of a lack of compatible bone marrow.
For the second weekend in a row, Lewis University's Philip Lynch Theater presents Moonlight and Magnolias by Ron Hutchinson. This comedy takes place in 1939 and is centered around the production of the film Gone with the Wind, as well as other American classics. Director Joe Slowick says the show is quick-paced and is a good fit for the Lewis audience. Tickets are available at the Philip Lynch Theater box office. Evening performances start at 8 with a 4:30 show on Saturday evening and a 2:30 performance on Sunday afternoon. Excuse me. And if you just can't get enough of the theater, the Sork office will begin selling $15 tickets today for the Chicago musical. The musical is on February 28th and will be held at the Bank of America Theater. There's a limit of 2 tickets per ID.
Yesterday, Brother James Gaffney announced that beginning on March 14th, the Flyers Den will begin selling beer and wine to those over the age of 21. Alcohol will only be served on Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to midnight. Here's what students at the Den had to say.
I feel like the introduction of alcohol to the Den will be kind of more of like it'll be good, but at the same time, if it's abused, I think it'll be taken off campus right away if people start to abuse the services here on campus.
I actually think serving alcohol here in the Den is actually a good idea. It prevents people from drunk driving, and they can do it on the weekend, so they can hang out and have a drink or two in a safe environment, so they can easily just walk back to their dorms instead of going out driving in hazardous weather and possibly injuring themselves or others.
Wouldn't that be like a bad idea? Because I'm pretty sure I just heard about someone dying on campus because of alcohol poisoning, and I don't know if a lot of college students are very responsible with their alcohol.
Well, I think serving alcohol at the Den is actually, it's not a bad idea. I have nothing against it, just because the police department's right there. If the problem got out of control with somebody, they'd handle it right away.
It's something new, but maybe it'll be something good to go along with our new sports bar look. It does look pretty good in here too. Put up new signs. We got a whole bunch of new TVs all around. The students are really liking it over here better.
Students can purchase alcohol only with the purchase of food. This is part of a trial period, which will conclude on April 26th.
A teenage girl has come forward claiming she has killed more than 1,000 dozen people. Find out more after this commercial break.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
So who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
19-year-old Miranda Barbour has come forward claiming that she has killed dozens of people. She said she lost count after 22. Barbour says she found people on the Craigslist and lured them with ads, then she murdered them with her husband. Authorities believe that Barbour is still a suspect in the murder of 42-year-old Troy LaFaria. Nearby states' missing persons reports are being opened to see if any of the killings match up with the Craigslist postings.
A South African Airways crew discovered a body inside of the landing gear of a plane on Saturday morning. The Airbus A340 landed at Dulles International Airport just outside of Washington, D.C. when the body was noticed. The crew notified airport police and then contacted the FBI and local fire departments. Members of the U.S. Border Patrol also investigated the incident, but have not released any new information. Airport officials say the Fairfax County Medical Examiner will continue to look for information about the case and that day-to-day operations will continue as normal.
A high school and middle school went on lockdown in Oklahoma yesterday after an unknown called and that said he planted a bomb somewhere in one of the buildings. Police evacuated the middle school and told students in the high school to stay in their locations while they searched the building. Police were unable to find any sort of threat in either the high school or middle school and allowed students to re-enter the buildings. Police are still investigating the phone call.
3 U.S. diplomats have been given 48 hours to leave Venezuela. The diplomats have been accused of conspiring against the government. President Nicolas Maduro announced on Sunday that the diplomats must leave Venezuela. Foreign Prime Minister Elias Joaina believes the U.S. officials are creating a program to promote violence in Venezuela. Venezuela plans to meet with ambassadors from Latin America and the Caribbean nations, along with Russians and Chinese ambassadors, to discuss the violence and recent tensions.
An Ethiopian co-pilot hijacked a plane headed to Rome and landed in Switzerland, according to Geneva officials. He took over the plane when the pilot was in the restroom after landing at Geneva International Airport. The co-pilot exited the plane through the window and was unarmed. He told authorities he was in danger in Ethiopia and asked for asylum where no passengers or staff were harmed.
Another blast of winter weather pushed through the Chicagoland area yesterday, dumping over 5 inches of snow in some places. Here at Lewis University, classes were canceled and campus was shut down early because of the severe weather, like you see right there with the snow being plowed all over the place. And Ryan Tadich joins us now with a preview of the weather. And Ryan, we had the snow yesterday. It warms up today. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. We've got some really funky weather going on here. And then, Thursday we've got rain and maybe even thunderstorms coming into the area. So we're getting everything all in the same week. And then cold weather returns again later in the week. But we'll talk all about that coming up in our full forecast.
All right. We'll be right back.
Time to wake up.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Don't forget, you've got a job to do today.
Hey, Mom. I got the job. Thanks.
You've got the job. Welcome aboard.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Whoever's looking for general surgery, that's 6583. General surgery, 66583.
Partner find one incoming patient. Partner find one incoming patient.
Good evening. We've got one weather photo to share with you today. As you can see here, you don't see a whole lot in this photo. It doesn't look like much. That's because that's what the conditions were on Renwick Road yesterday. This was Kylie Link sending in this photo. As you can see, complete whiteout conditions over on Renwick Road yesterday during the snowstorm that dumped 7.4 inches of snow here at Romeoville. That was actually one of the higher totals that we saw across the Chicagoland area, and we'll talk about all the statistics from those and where that places us in a little bit later in the forecast. But today we had a very nice day. You stepped outside this afternoon. The sun was out for a while. Now it's clouded over since then. And we actually warmed up to 45 degrees here today. We're currently sitting at 42 degrees. The real field temperature, though, is a little bit cooler. So it's 42, but it feels about 10 degrees cooler at 32 degrees. That's because of these southwest winds at 28 miles per hour. And the sun will set tonight at about in just a little bit. Right now, it should actually be setting. We saw our first temperature above 32 degrees since January 13th, and our first 40-degree temperature in over a month. So it's kind of nice to actually see a little bit of that warm weather. And as you can see, as we take a look at the 1 to 5 day GFS model run, because you can see that warm air stays around through the remainder of this week, and then it's going to start tailing off as we head into next week. And that's what our next graphic is going to show, and that's the 6 to 10 day trend for that. And that shows that that cold air comes right back into the area. And as you can see, there's the blues and even the purples as we're starting to tap more Arctic air coming into the area beyond. We'll start later in the weekend into the start of next week. Things look quite cold again as we head into next week again. But first, we've got rain coming our way on Thursday, and we can actually see quite a bit of rain, and our next graphic is going to show that. This is the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for thunderstorms. As you can see, the green would signal thunderstorms, and then this actually puts the yellows would put a risk of severe weather. So we're in line to possibly see some thunderstorms on Thursday. Nothing that would be anything severe, but we could actually see some good amounts of rain. Models are already kicking out over an inch of rain potentially tomorrow on Thursday, so that would melt quite a bit of the snow that we have, and temperatures will rise up near 50 degrees probably as we head into Thursday before things start to turn much more wintry again later next week. As you can see, the fifth snowiest winter on record now, 67.9 inches at O'Hare. That puts us at fifth all time since snow records began back in the late 1800s. It looks like we'll easily get past the fourth snowiest winter on record. That's the 68.4 inches, because all we need is another half an inch. We'll definitely see that before the end of the year. So it's still questionable as to how high on this list we'll get. As you can see, that winter of 78 and 79 when we got 89.7 inches. Looks like a far stretch right now to get to that, but anything could happen. So look for our winter to probably fall into that number 3 or number 4 position. As we bring back our weather word of the day as well, we heard about this yesterday. A lot of areas, including downtown Chicago, got what is known as thunder snow, and it's an unusual kind of thunderstorm. Essentially, it's a thunderstorm, but it snows instead of rains. The thing about thunder snow, though, is it's associated with very, very heavy snow. Obviously, there's going to be some lightning and thunder in there, too. You'll see snowfall rates of anywhere from 2 to 4 inches per hour during these thunder snow events. Usually, they don't last very long. It's usually a brief period of time when you actually see thunder snow, but there's been a lot of talk about that over since yesterday, since we actually saw a lot of that over the course of the area. So for full weather information and to get your weather photos submitted, you can go to the Tatosphere Like That on Facebook or check out the blog blog, www.tatosphere.blogspot.com. We'll have all the weather information the rest of the week, including all these storms and big rains that we have coming in on Thursday. As we take a look at our week ahead, as you can see, we got a nice day, warmed up to 42 degrees today. It's going to get below freezing, though, tonight. 27 is our low, so things will start to freeze over as that ground is still very wet. Tomorrow, another gorgeous day, generous sunshine, a little bit cooler, high 36, but it'll still feel pretty nice out there, and it's a lot better than what we've been having. Then we warm up to 46 on Thursday. Outside chance we could actually get to, some areas could get to 50 degrees. This will be the warmest. We're going to see some thunderstorms. There's going to be a lot of rain, snow melting, so there's going to cause a lot of flooding because that ground is incredibly cold, so it's not going to, that rain and snow melt is not going to be able to saturate into the ground, thus causing some flooding. And then as you can see, much more wintry weather for the rest of the week. Friday, 31 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. We could see a little bit of light snow on Thursday as well. On Friday as well. Saturday, then temperatures get back into the 20s, only 25 on Saturday and Sunday. Some light chances of snow both of those days as well. And then Monday, that 20 might be a little bit overdone for Monday right now. That's about the highest we can get to, but temperatures are going to struggle to reach that 20 degrees on Monday, and we'll likely see some sub-zero lows again. We're only three sub-zero lows 3 days away. We're at 22 sub-zero lows at O'Hare right now. The record is 25, so it's looking like by next week we could potentially break that record as well.
Oh, wow.
So you bring the temperatures up, and then
we got just a little bit of tease of spring right now. Winter's not going away yet, and right now it looks like our spring break's probably going to be pretty cold as well too. So
Ryan, you got to quit telling us these things.
I'm looking forward to that, at least, right?
All right. Well, Joe is here now, and Joe, what do we have coming up in sports today?
Oh, we got a lot of stuff coming up in sports today. We're going to actually have a lot of stuff about Lewis University, the men's track and field team, some basketball. The volleyball team had a big game against Ohio State last week. We're also going to talk about the NBA All-Star game, and also we're going to talk about the Olympics that are going on right now.
Ooh, sounds good. Can't wait for that. We'll have Joe with sports when we come back.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Yeah. Okay, time for cake.
It's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
The Lewis men's track and field team finished second at Chicagoland Championships. Junior Matt Gemwell and sophomore Adam Barr each won their respective events with NCAA provisional marks. Gemwell won the 800-meter run with a time of 1 minute and 52.81 seconds, while Barr won the weight throw with a toss of 59 feet. Flyer junior Mark Bonds earned a second-place finish in the 60-meter dash with a time of 7.07 seconds. The Flyers return to action on Saturday as they will travel to Michigan to participate in the Hillside Tune-Up. Action is set to start at 10 a.m. The Lewis men's volleyball team defeated number 14 Ohio State 3-1 at St. John Arena on Saturday. Junior outside hitter Greg Petty led the way with 15 kills, 7 digs, and 4 block assists. Registered junior outside hitter Jeff Powell picked up 14 putaways, 8 digs, and 3 block assists. The Flyers improved to 9-3 on the year and 1-1 against Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association opponents, while the Buckeyes fall to 5-6 on the campaign and 2-2 in league play. The Flyers next take on the IPFW Mastodons on Thursday at the Gates Sports Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana. First serve in the MIVA matchup is set for 7 p.m. Eastern Time. On Sunday, the NBA All-Star Game took place in New Orleans, Louisiana. In a battle between the Eastern Conference All-Stars versus the Western Conference, it turned out to be a high-flying battle between the two teams that the Eastern Conference was able to win with a 63-155 victory. Chicago Bulls All-Star Joakim Noah played 20 minutes and 46 seconds and added 8 points with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. However, the big story of the game for the Eastern Conference was the outstanding play by Kyrie Irving, who is the game's MVP. Irving had 31 points, 14 assists, and 5 rebounds to lead the East. NBA play will resume this evening as the rest of the league will continue to keep fighting their way to get into the playoffs. All-star Joakim Noah and the rest of his Bulls teammates will be in Toronto tomorrow night to face the Raptors at 7 p.m. In the Winter Olympics, yesterday the USA was able to take home the bronze in the bobsleigh competition for the two-man heat. The U.S. finished with a time of 3 minutes and 46 seconds. In figure skating, the U.S. was able to take home gold when going up against Canada and Russia. And the ice dance, in the ice dance free dance, Merrill Davis and Charlie White were able to have a winning point total of 195.52. With the Olympics coming to a near close, we can expect nothing short of a great effort from all of the countries competing. Following day 12 of competition, Germany leads the medal count with eight golds and also has 3 silvers and 4 bronzes. Norway is second with 7 golds, 4 silvers, and 7 bronzes. The Dutch are third with 6 golds and lead the total medal count with 20. Thanks in part to sweeping the medals in the 10,000 meter speed skating competition. Russia and the United States are tied for 4th with 5 golds each. Russia holds the tiebreaker over the U.S. with its 8 silvers as opposed to the 4 for the Americans.
All right. Well, that was a good look at sports there, and good to see that we're not doing too bad in the Olympics.
No, not too bad. Yeah, exactly.
And good to see also the track and field team doing very well over the weekend too.
Yeah, they did really well, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do for how they're going to fare up this weekend as well.
Yeah, exactly. Best rating they've had in school history,
right,
so hopefully
exactly.
they can continue that. All right, well, that will wrap it up for us here today on WFLY TV News. Make sure you tune in on Thursday night right here on LUTN as the Flyers men's and women's basketball teams host the University of Illinois Springfield. I'm Shane Gustafson.
And I'm Jessica Resendez.
I'm Joe Ledger with sports.
And I'm Ryan Tatters with weather.
And from all of us here, have a great night, and we hope to see you next week.